I'm the president of the Women's Sports Foundation, which is actually based here in New York, and our goal is to keep girls inspired and empowered and healthy through sports and education. And I think that just seeing a woman do so well and win on television inspires so many girls and makes them want to be athletes as well, or just be physical, and that's really what I want.
Laila Ali, who retired undefeated as a women's boxer, and of course she's the daughter of the legendary Muhammad Ali, who once upon a time was one of my constituents. Laila there talking about the importance of women in sports and staying healthy. With so much hustle and bustle in the world, it's become hard for a lot of us to deal with so many different things and still find the way to exercise and relieve stress and stay fit. But our next two guests have a solution for us. Let's go further in depth now here on the anchor desk as we're joined by Nancy Brinker. Nancy is the founder of the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, as well as the former American ambassador to Hungary and the former chief of protocol in the United States. And from protocol to pugilism, because Ian Curran is also here. He's the owner and head trainer at Boxfit. And so this is an exciting topic, but we talk about fitness. Usually we bracket it with health and fitness. And Nancy, before we get to boxing, some updates on the fight against breast cancer. A recent report by the Journal of Health, it says the U.S. spends $4 billion a year on unnecessary mammogram expenses, false alarms, and overdiagnosis. Do you share that concern that we're overspending?
Well, I share every concern that has to do with breast cancer, but the fact is, we've always known that mammography is about 80% effective. It's not perfect, but what is exciting is what we're moving into, the era, JD, we're moving into, where we will have technology meeting people's biology, and we'll be able to diagnose this disease through blood studies, through having a chip in your arm implanted with all of your genomic information on it, and things are going to change so drastically in the next 5 years you won't even recognize some of these issues. And I'm just glad we've had mammography all these years to at least detect the breast cancer that we can in the women we can.
Right, and so much of this is hereditary,
yes.
And we talk about genomics, but in the broader sense, there's obviously no vaccination for cancer, but for a healthy lifestyle, part and parcel of that is exercise.
That's right, and you do what you can, and we do know that women who exercise early in their lives as a continuum do better for longer, and eat well, and sleep well, and do the other things that our parents have always told us about. But I've just tried and sort of fell into it all my life, ways to stay very fit, like what I'm doing now with Ian, which is learning how to box.
That's what we want to talk about. Now Ian, Nancy is statuesque, so she has the reach, I would imagine, in the ring, but Boxfit, this is not the Ali form of boxing, right?
No.
Tell us about the discipline of Boxfit.
For sure. We're a fitness performance facility, and we focus on multifunctional muscle training groups at the same time. Nancy gets to train like a fighter without taking the hits, but she's becoming so good now and again I do take a hit, so she just can't control herself. She has to score a point. Excuse me.
Well, I wondered about this because I heard about it. I said, well, gee, figuratively speaking, Nancy is no stranger to the political ring, right. but to have our chief of protocol involved in pugilism, I'm just wondering, Nancy, would you be willing to spar, or does it work? What happens now? Your instructor has
yes. I'm just anxious to get into the ring, very much so. And so much of boxing is a dance. It is a dance and a strategy, and it isn't like what you see on TV with all the bloodiness all the time, because a lot of it is being defensive. And I think it's really important for women to be strong, to be able to manage themselves. And one thing Ian's taught me is it's not just what you're doing in terms of hitting and defending, but it's how you're thinking. And he's really helped me with thinking very strategically. So, after an hour and a half of extreme fitness and building up your core muscles and your arms and your legs and everything and balance, I've also learned a lot of strategy, because he tells great stories about boxers as we're boxing.
Well, it's interesting about that because it used to almost be a rite of passage for American males.
Right.
My dad in college talked about boxing, and he said, hey, listen, you box for 5 minutes. Right. That's hard work.
It is.
Because of the conditioning involved. Absolutely. But in terms of this change in mindset and this attraction of the fairer sex to the ring. What is it about boxing that women who are watching might not think about in first and might go, gee, that's just a little too rough for me?
Right. Well, again, you don't have to take the hits, but the benefits of it are conditioning, agility, movement, cholesterol lowering. It's one of the best sports, really, that you can do.
And we should note, we just saw a glimpse of Layla Ali, and that's a whole different thing. She was flat out fighting. But you're talking about the training elements.
Correct.
Now, her dad used to train out in my district in Sholo, Arizona, and every morning it was a 6-mile run. Does Boxfit include a lot of road work in addition to bag work, or what happens here?
Yeah, what we do is, again, fitness performance. So we do agility, conditioning, speed work. I put Nancy on ladders. She does agility movements. A lot of different, we have multifunctional movements of technological machines that measure your speed of punch, your power, your agility, your score points. So there's a lot of technical movements in there, and it's very scientific.
And punching bags, he has all the punching facilities in there so that you go through a series of, how your timing, your depth perception, everything, and then you are really ready. And, again, I said boxing doesn't have to be bloody, but I really do like to score points. I mean, I'm competitive, and if you have played, and I have played a competitive sport in the past, you really get into it in a way that you want to score the points, and yet you want to keep yourself safe and learn. And the hour goes by so fast, I forgot that it even happened, and you're just really conditioned afterwards.
And it is more than getting in shape physically. Right. There's a mental process involved.
Right.
How has it changed you? You've always been a confident person, but in terms of self-confidence, what's the stuff?
Because you just said it, JD. When I was a little girl, we didn't get to play competitive sports. We never did. I mean, you could play tennis, golf, or you could swim, basically, but you never really got to spar. You never got to do offense, defense, really, in the same way. And in tennis, I think you do, but it's a different thing. And so, for me, it's fun and it's strategic and it gives me confidence, particularly because I'm the oldest person in this. I mean, let's be real, in his whole training
You don't
thing.
train like it.
But that's the thing. If you're only as old as you make yourself feel, and so it's made me feel much younger.
Well, I tell you what, Nancy Brinker, it's always good to have you here, and Ian Curran, who is the owner and the head trainer at Boxfit. That's one word, B-O-X-F-I-T. I spell it out. Thanks for coming to spell out some of the benefits of boxing. And again, sorry I have to use the line from protocol to pugilism, but it's all working out. Thanks to you both. Oh, gee, I took the punch. There's lots more ahead. America's Forum continues on this Friday, but right now we step aside for this Newsmax Now update.